Good morning to all. Myself Suguna SN. Now I am discussing the session 24 of organizational behavior from the third unit, that is learning. So now we're going to have the discussion on the topic principles of learning and reinforcement. So the principles of learning and reinforcement are as follows. The first principle of learning, that is motivation. So motivation is most important for every individuals, which promotes us to go for learning and which is needed for our behavioral changes also. Motives promotes to actions. So for the adopting a new changes in your behavior, motivation or the motives plays a major roles, and it represent the mental feelings or mental actions of a human beings. Motives arises continuously and determines the general directions of an individual behaviors, how to be performed or how to be behaved. So it shows the general guidelines or the directions what to do and what do not to do. So do's and don'ts of our behavior will be determined from the motives or the motivation. Second principle, that is reinforcement, punishment and extinction. First, we'll have the discussion on the reinforcement. Reinforcement is an attempt to develop or strengthen with our desirable behavior. So after motivating, we are going to have the after motives of a learning, we are going to make it as a habit for our putting our efforts in our performances. So here the desirable behavior of individuals, it has to be strengthened and it has to be repeated. So it has to be developed. It is called reinforcement. So there will be a positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement means which strengthens or enhances the behavior by representing the positive reinforces are the factors of reinforces. So there will be positive impact or the positive effect for your positive reinforcement, and vice versa the negative reinforcement. In negative reinforcement, the unpleasant event or the unwanted the irrelevant behaviors will have to be deleted or it has to be eliminated. So we have to remove undesirable behaviors. In that place, we have to replace the desirable behavior. This is what negative reinforcement. Next topic, that is schedules and the reinforcement. By reinforce factors for the enhancement of those reinforced factors, we have to make the schedules for that reinforcement. Schedule of reinforcement determines when the reinforcers are to be applied in our behavior. Psychologists have identified several different schedules for the reinforcement, especially in the organizations or even with the individual behaviors. The first schedule, that is fixed interval schedule. So which talks about and which provides the reinforcement on a predetermined time or a constant schedule when the reinforce factors to be applied in your behavior. It is called fixed interval schedule. So it has the predetermined fixed time in which you have to make the desirable behavior. You have to perform or you have to act or behave a desirable behavior. It is called fixed interval schedule. The second one, variable interval schedule. In the name itself, it specifies which varies. There will be no predetermined time schedule for the reinforce factors to be applied. So variable interval schedules also uses time as the basis for applying reinforcement, but it varies with the intervals of time between the reinforcement of a desirable behavior. And next, third one, it's a fixed ratio schedule. In fixed ratio schedule, reinforcement is administered after a desirable behavior should occur by a specified number of times. So it is a ratio which has to be followed, a fixed ratio to be followed. That too, you have to wait for, you have to administer for the desirable behavior to be occurred, or it has to be behaved up to the number of specified times. So it's called fixed ratio schedule. So the next one, that is variable ratio schedule. In the name itself, there will be no time schedule which is given for the reinforcement will be administered. So it must occur before the reinforcement is delivered, but the number of behaviors varies around some average. There will be no fixed number of times where the desirable behavior has to be performed. It's called variable ratio schedule. So these are the different types of schedules which has to be followed for the reinforcement of a desirable behavior. The second principle, we have discussed reinforcement. Next we are discussing the punishment. Punishment is also very much needed for the learning habit. So punishment is the attempt to eliminate or weaken the undesirable behavior which needs to be eliminated. So when we are going to make the people or the individual punish, when there is unwanted or undesirable actions will be performed by the individuals. If we punish them by extra work or by reducing their monetary values like that, their behavior will be corrected on time. So that is the principle of punishment we are going to use for the learning process. So there are two ways of punishment. That is, one way to punish a person to apply negative consequences called punishes following an undesirable behavior. It means when the people or individual behaves in an undesired way or undesirable behavior, then the negative consequences, like as I said before, reducing the monetary incentives, or by providing or giving extra targets, extra work, these are the negative consequences which you are going to apply for the correcting or making a desirable behavior. So another way is to punish, is to withhold a positive consequence for the following undesirable behavior. This is another way. So you are going to suspend, or you are going to withhold the positive consequences which has to be given to the employees. By withholding that, you are punishing them to correct in their undesirable behavior. For that, they are going to replace that undesirable behavior into desirable behavior. This is a punishment also one of the most important factor or the element which supports for the desirable learning in the employees or even in the individuals. Next, the third principle in this, so that is extinction. So an alternate to punishing undesirable behavior is called extinction. Extinction is the weakening of behavior by ignoring it and making sure it is not reinforced. Extinction is extended part of punishment. You are not applying positive consequences or the negative consequences. You are totally ignoring that. You are not providing any consequences, or negative or positive. By ignoring, you are making them to replace the desirable behavior in the place of undesirable behavior. It is called extinction. So this is a second principle, that is reinforcement, punishment and extinction. So third one, that is whole versus part learning. Whole means together, totality. So whole means if you assign the whole work to individual group, we can't, the psychologically we'll stuck with our mental process. So that's why here the superior or the manager, the whole work, whole learning, it has to be broken into different individual jobs, making as a part. Then you have to assign that parts and make it the work done. So it is whole learning. So when it comes to part learning, so you the whole which is separated as a parts you are doing as a part activity, as a part work, and after completion of your part work, it has to be combined together, it has to be merged together to make as a whole learning. It is called part versus whole learning. So in the whole learning, you are breaking the whole work, whole job into parts and make them to learn individually by single parts. And in the part learning, so the whole individual parts what you have taken after your completion of the job, you have to combine together, merge together, give it as a whole meaning for that. That is accomplishment of a particular task. This is what part and whole learning. Next principle, that is learning curves. Curve, it is nothing but learning curve. It is a diagrammatic representation of the amount of learning which you are going to gain, that is in the form of skill or ability, the competences at the relation in relation with the time factors or the experiences. What are the skills or abilities which you are gaining? It's called a learning curve. So here the x-axis and the y-axis. So here x-axis talks about the passage or the experience of time, and the y-axis, this one, it talks about the amount of learned what you have learned. That either it may be ability or a skill or a competency. The curve shows the extent to which the rate of learning increases or decreases with practice of different experiences. So how much you are learning by the over a period of time. So what are the skills and abilities which you are gaining, and what you are inculcating in your behavior, what you are applying that into in your behavior, that matters here in the organization for the accomplishment of their individual and the whole organizational targets. So this is about the learning curves. So next principle, that is meaningfulness of material. So here the trainers have considered certain techniques that increases meaningfulness of their trainees or the employees. The creating association with already familiar terms and providing conceptual basis for the logical reasoning for the material or some of the practical possibilities. Here you have to be logically analyze the material or the things and how it make it as a effective performance, or it has to be put it as a efforts. So here you have to create that logical analysis, as it is a responsibility of the trainers to develop that skills in the minds of the individuals. You have to make them to learn that techniques or the skills. So this is what the meaningfulness of material. You have to be create that logical analysis, creativity thinking, or critical analysis, everything. So that has to be there in your learning. So which helps you for the solving various practical problems also, and those practical possibilities of problems make you positive possibilities in your achievements. So next principle, that is here I have taken learning styles. There are different types of learning. Someone will learn by doing the things. Someone will learn by thinking, observing, or experience, or feeling by themselves. So on the basis of all these, we have divided the learning into different styles. It depends on the ability of an individual to learn. So how you are going to learn, what is the capacity level or the individual ability, it depends on the individuals. There are 4 types of people. Based on the people, we have made these learning styles. So when they are learning, that is first one accommodation or accommodator, second one divergence called diverger. So next one assimilation, nothing but he is called assimilator, and fourth one, that is convergence, nothing but converger. So let us discuss one by one. First I have taken here accommodator or accommodation. So here the employee, he or she learns by doing and feeling, and from their hands-on experience. So here, rather than listening or observing the others, here the individual employee or individuals, he or may she, so they're going to learn by doing themselves, by hands-on experience and feeling themselves, rather than logically analyzing or logically connecting with the things. So this is the main concept of accommodator. He learns by doing by himself, by experiencing or making hands-on experience by himself. He is called accommodator. Second one is a diverger. So a diverger learns by observing and feeling. So firstly, accommodator, he learns by doing and feeling. Here diverger, he learns by observing the things and by feeling themselves. Here he or she has the ability to view concrete situation from the different angles. That is what his observations. So you will not see in a similar way. So he has a heterogeneity in his observations in a same situation. So he sees in a different angles, and you're going to learn by the things, solutions and all. So here the diverger learns by things, observing and feeling. So he sees things in a different way, unique way. So he is called diverger. So next I have taken here converger. So convergence we can call it as. So a converger learns by doing and thinking. So he does and his own, that is on and experiences. Along with that, he think properly. So they seek practical use for the information. So practically they're going to apply, and then they're going to learn, and that make changes in their behavior. So without thinking, without the practical experience, practical knowledge or information, they're not going to believe the things. So after practically experiencing or doing or thinking, they're going to include or inculcate the changes in their behavior. He is called converger. And lastly, the assimilator. An assimilator learns by observing and thinking the things or situations. So the assimilator is an effective understander a wide range of information and putting into concise and logical form. So assimilator means he has the huge knowledge, huge information about a particular situation or the concept, and that he may going to concise it, and he may going to summarize it in a simple terms and make it give the logical analysis for that, logical connectivity for that. This is the main point or a main important of a assimilator. So how you're going to learn. So these are the different styles of learning styles, how the people going to learn from their individual way and all. So these are the four types: assimilator, converger, diverger and accommodator. So this is about the different principles of learning and reinforcement. That revision part we will see now. So these are the points which we have discussed. That is motivation, which plays a major role. After that, we have discussed reinforcement, in that there is a negative and positive reinforcement. And after reinforcement, we discussed the punishment. There are two ways: by applying negative consequences and applying positive consequences. We are changing undesirable behavior into desirable behavior, that is a punishment. And next, extinction. So that is replacement of punishment. So by weakening or by ignoring the undesirable behavior, that process is called extinction. So next we have seen that is whole versus part learning. How people a whole task, how it is they going to learn. So the whole task is separated or breaker into parts, and after breaking, that parts will be assigned to individuals. After completion of the part task, so they're going to again combine it or merge together for accomplishing individual targets or the whole target. It is a whole versus part learning. And lastly, Next one, we have seen the learning curve. There are x-axis and y-axis by the duration of the time or the time period. So the employees or the individuals, they're going to acquire the amount of skills or the abilities or the learnings. So this talks about the learning curves. And after that, we have discussed the meaningfulness of material. Here the trainer have to be inculcate the technically or logical way of connecting the materials into their learning habitants. So after that, we have discussed the learning styles. There are four types of learning styles, that is accommodation, convergence, divergence, and assimilation. So these are the principles of learning and reinforcement. So I will stop here. Thank you.